welcome back to Strong's Garage.
Yeah, you got Matt, Jim here.
Today we got a little bit of a video.
Real electrifying one for you.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had time to put together a video, but we've been filming little bits and pieces here and there.
Busy putting together Magneto for Model T.
Yeah, so Scott over at Cold War Motors, I'm sure lots of you watch his channel. We've been tasked with helping him by rebuilding the engine for that little T Coupe he's got.
Yeah, it was in pretty sad shape, so he was able to procure a good used block that had the machining done, and so we were responsible for the Babbitt work and engine assembly, transmission assembly, and getting Magneto working.
So we've worked on that. We went to southern Alberta, to Calgary, about 3.5 hours south of where we're at, with our good friend Harry Lillo, and procured a few tools that we've been after for quite some time. And we also got a coil ring that we didn't have and a few other things that we didn't have in stock to get the job done. So now we're going to set the Magneto.
Yeah,
which is a bugger.
Super cool. Yeah, if you haven't seen them, they're 16 horseshoe magnets pretty much, and then a bunch of coils, and it just swipes by and induces a current as you would.
Yeah, and non-rectified means it's AC. There's a lot of fitting when it comes to the Magneto on a Model T. There's a lot of adjusting and stuff like that. So we'll go through all that with the tool that we have. Go through testing it with this new tool we got, which is really neat. So let's get into the shop and get that Magneto put together. Hey?
Oh, for sure. And a big thanks to the viewers who've been liking, watching, subscribing. Still, yeah.
Thanks to the patrons for sticking by us. It's been a while since we made a video. We've been, like I said, just swamped at the shop with other things. So anyways, with that being said, let's head to the shop and set up the Magneto on a Model T Ford. Now these are magnets, and they're aligned in such a way where you have like south, south, north, north, south, south, north, north together, all in a circle. And the magnets need to be strong enough in the old books to pick up the cast iron pistons, which is approximately 3 pounds pull. And these all have pretty good magnetism, so the next step is to set the height. But before we can set the height, these screws in an original ring gear are 1/4 inch 24 threads, which is between standard coarse, which is 20 threads, and fine, which is 28. These are the original ring gear, so we have original type screws. But one bum hole we didn't have a tap for, so my dad made us a tap. So as you can see, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it'll be nice to chase the old thread here.
Chase the one hole out. Here's torqued up here.
Long
Perfect.
thread.
Worked excellent. Okay.
Good.
Put her back down.
Slide her in through the top here.
These are the little spacers that go underneath the magnets, like so. Line that up. And then there's these little plates that go on that have a little notch in them. You just put in like this. And then the new screws. When you do this job, you got to replace these screws every time because they're peened on the back.
Oh yeah, you gotta grind them to get them off. And
Yep. There.
perfect.
So the next job will be to make sure that these are all the exact same height based on the end of the crankshaft. So we've taken and cut off a ruined transmission shaft, which used to be about this long, and made this little piloting thing, so it goes in like it would on the car. There.
Perfect.
So that is nothing more than a spacer now that we can run this beautiful Kara Wilson. This is a reproduction of an original tool, but what it does is it centers on the end here, and we'll use this to set the heights of all the magnets here so they're all the same. So we'll get a couple of crankshaft bolts in there.
There we got a couple brand new bolts. Those in there.
Perfect.
We'll grab a wrench. There we go.
Great. So now we should tighten these up a little bit, and then looser ones. I'm going to set this so it's just touching. There. Just rubs. Just rubs. Aha. This one's slightly high, but not much. We'll just tighten it a little more. Just barely. Well, now we can tap it down with a copper or lead hammer. We got this little copper one, so I'm just going to lightly tap that. A little more. There we go. This one a little bit. It's important this height because it has to pass the next part that we're going to do, which is the field, like the coil ring, which is 16 coils that pass by, these magnets pass by that create the voltage. And if the gap is too big, it don't make no power. Or not enough, anyway. There we go. Good. Magnets are set. Now we can peen the back.
Nice.
And now we can go ahead and peen the ends. Okay, check her again. Yeah, let's check the height, see where we're at. Again.
Nice.
Perfect. Okay. Assembled. Now, take out our little old center there. This flywheel's already been fitted with brand new triple gear shafts, so that's ready to go. All right.
Yeah, looking good.
Well, the newest acquisition we got for the shop, which is something I've been after for a long time because they're hard to find, but a really good friend of ours, fellow Model T enthusiast, and one of the people we phone if we have questions all the time, Harry Lillo, was gracious enough to sell us his hand crank coil tester.
Yeah, a bit of electrical testing equipment for the shop.
Yeah, these date back to the teens or 20s. This is the one that's in the service bulletins, the Allen, which is the one to have. And what's really cool about them is you can test the mag ring, the magnets, you can test a coil and a spark plug, a Magneto horn, and Magneto headlights, because they would run on AC. And anyways, before we used to have to put the Magneto in the car and test it and take it apart and put it together, and hopefully everything was good. But this way we can pre-check all the parts for the engine we're doing for Scott. And how it works is you just crank it, and it works just like the Magneto does in the car. The magnets pass the coils, register amperage and voltage. There's 16 coils, so there's 16 sparks. This coil, we set it, it's a little bit weak, so we get a little bit of double sparking and stuff, but we just want to make sure that our new setup makes power at all. So what we're going to do is just show you how it works. It's pretty cool. Just crank it up. And as you can see, it sparks around here 16 times. Registers the voltage and the amperage. But anyway, we're real proud to have it. They're hard to get. Appreciate Harry getting us to be the next caretaker of this, so we'll put it to use. And let's put it to use right now, Jim.
Oh yeah. Wraps off, eh?
I think so, yeah.
There it is. Yeah.
These things are cutting big and heavy. Oh yeah. Shim.
Nice.
This is all made to go quick.
Nice.
There's that one. We'll save. Put it back in. Clean it up. Now we can put this brand new one on. Rebuilt. Coil ring installed. Tighten up these little speed connectors here.
There it is.
Everything's touching. Okay, we got this on. Now we can put the spacer, and we'll just double check our depth with the feeler gauge after we get it on. There we go. Nut here. Okay, well, after some shimming and fooling around, we got it correct.
Shimfoolery.
So this is the flywheel for Scott's car with all the magnets we put on and the coil ring that's rebuilt. Just put it on there, and we had to just shim everything within spec, so between 26 and 40 thousandths between the magnets and the coils. Optimal performance. So all we're trying to do here is make sure that it works before we put it all together, and let's have a look. So there should be 16 individual sparks because there's 16 coils. So here we go. There you go. And if we do the, we can also test spark plugs on this machine, like so. And coils. Well, I'm happy. I think we can put it in the car now.
Oh, for sure.
Well, after many hours of fiddlery that we didn't film,
Oh yeah, film or account for.
we had to flatten this coils out. They were wore out, and
Yeah, it was a good used core that must have had thrust issues, and so the magnets had worn down these things in such a grooved manner, but
we honed her flat and then shimmed it accordingly using the K.R. Wilson gauge for this as well. It was bolted on the crank when we did it, but just to show you, we got the magnets set just so. And when we put our flywheel on for the final time, we're at 30 thou all the way, which is exactly what you want, or at least what we want. 25 to 40 is what they say. But yeah, this old gauge worked pretty good. And now we're prepared to wire it on for good.
all right, we got our oil tube. Don't want to forget that.
Just funnels oil from the flinging of the magnets into the front of the engine from within.
Yeah.
A lot of dipping and running and oil just getting places on these engines.
Yeah, a lot of just gravity migration, but
We need our bolt.
oh, wherever that got to.
Oh man, it is late.
Oh, it's right there by that wrench.
Right,
To your left.
oh here.
Down.
Got our bolt.
Around.
These go in now. There we go. And now we can safety wire the whole work so it doesn't bugger off into the engine like that rogue gate hinge or
Oh yeah,
rogue
that
door
pin.
hinge pin. Yeah.
Yeah. If only it had been wired up.
If only it had
Be
been
singing a
wired.
different tale.
Oh, well, good. Let's bring that up. Get a wire in.
We have a wonderful bolt kit that we were able to sell Scott. Comes with this wire. If you didn't have any wire at home.
Okay. It's gonna be a nice little engine, really.
Oh yeah. Happy to have it in NET.
Perfect. Ready for the next task, which will be finishing the engine, but there you go, a little bit of R&D on the old
Model T.
Model T.
You bet.
Well, there you have it. That's how you set the Magneto on a Model T Ford, more or less. And the transmission goes on, then the head and everything, put it in the car. Like we said there in the video, this coming Saturday, June 17th, Scott's going to have a full feature on the motor swap and how it all went.
Yeah, and it's got the, you might have noticed the flywheel was assembled, but he's got the footage of it being assembled from its bare bones.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff there.
Should be pretty interesting. We'll probably watch it, so.
Yeah, we'll be in it. We watched it, alright.
We'll watched it, yeah.
Anyways, but what was really cool, and we have to say thank you, is to the Vintage Touring Association of Alberta, because the other reason we've been so busy is because we've been cleaning this place for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because they came through on a little tour. They were touring around the area, and we were one of the stops, and they had lunch in town nearby, and we had them here for about 2 hours.
Oh, it was a wonderful thing. It was about 25 pre-1932 vehicles, which just roared into town.
Yeah, they were pre-1932 club, which is pretty neat. And they drive those cars, and we had everything from Fords to Franklins here, so it was really cool.
Yeah.
And I also got to say thanks to Cassie, because she spent a lot of time in here cleaning and working and getting things so we could have it done. But she had these custom-made stickers. We don't have a ton, but we have these custom stickers. And the biggest hit of the show, there's only a few left here. She had these cool custom-made cookies that had Strong's Garage on them. So people were just munching on those and drinking our coffee, and it was just a riot.
Oh, it was a hoot, yeah.
And we had to fix a flat tire or two, and and people we know and people we didn't, so it was a lot of fun having people in the shop. And like I said, pre-1932, well, that's right up our alley anyways.
Oh yeah, especially when they pound the miles to them.
Yeah, because then things break.
Oh yeah.
And then we fix them. Anyway, so we got a little bit of footage of that, so I hope you enjoy it.
So if it's okay with you starting at the end of this month, I told everybody to have the parts in. Okay, yeah.
Here just about a year ago, it was down to the third spot
Hello.
Yeah, it's been sweet. Oh, what a cool drive, man. Oh, that was great. That's sweet. Yeah. It was a nice one. That would be good. Geez, probably 903. Yeah.